felt the pain from someone else? It could be your grandmother, your aunt, your daughter. I mean, like they're in pain. You're in pain, but not as much as them. But just because they're in pain, you're feeling so horrible. If this has ever happened to you, watch this video so I can teach you how to get through that pain. Let's go.
If you can get through that, you can get through anything, okay? And at that moment, I knew my life would change forever. Hello, how you doing? Yes. Can we all just stand up really quick because we've been sitting for a minute? Can we all stand up, move our legs around? I am Tina. Otherwise...
Meet Tina, stars Tina Wilson, a beacon of hope and transformation for women over 40. As a licensed life and health coach, Tina specializes in empowering those who have faced life's toughest challenges.
The edge of their seat. So when someone says, Tina, how did you do? I'm going to say, I had it at the edge of their seat.
Drawing from her personal triumphs over tragedy, Tina guides women on a transformative journey. Her unique approach is grounded in the 5 pillars of transformation: mindset, heart set, nutrition, fitness, and resilience. Tina's mind, body, and soul awakening program isn't just about surviving, it's about thriving. Through her online fitness boutique studio, she merges physical well-being with emotional growth. As an international motivational speaker, Tina's voice resonates across continents. She inspires and educates through her podcast, her dynamic presence on platforms like Clubhouse and Toastmasters International, and her compelling storytelling. Celebrating her latest achievement, the publication of her first book, No More Traumedy, Tina continues to leave a lasting mark in the art of transformation.
I said I need to make a book for anyone who's had some type of trauma or tragedy, because there's no playlist. People don't like to talk about it. Remember, I was with my coach and I'm like, well, this person's got a cool thing. They do motivation, they do finances. I talk about traumedies. That's not cute. He's like, Tina, you make traumedies look good.
Yeah. Stars Tina Wilson, transforming lives by overcoming one traumedy at a time.
Hey, Grand Rising, and good morning to you and also you. So as you can see at the top, today we are remembering 9/11, and I was thinking, what do I want to talk about today? Because I love to share something deep and meaningful that's going to change your life and also transform your life. So as you know, I am that traumedy person, right? A traumedy is when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. When this occurs, life-changing experiences happen. And 9/11, millions of lives transformed mentally, right? And very clear to me, I'm talking today, if you've ever felt pain for someone else. And I remember I had a studio in Belleville, New Jersey, a perfume studio, loved it. And I was the person in charge of motivating the people. Every morning I would get in front of the room and I would get everyone motivated, right? So this particular day, I'm driving down the highway, listening to, I guess, WBLS, who knows back then. And I'm in the studio, getting everything ready. And then I hear the news of what happened, the planes going into the buildings. Now, the reason why this was so important to me, one, I lived in New Jersey with a view of the World Trade Center very clearly. And my grandmother, her daughter, my Aunt Wendy, actually worked in the World Trade Center buildings. Now, my aunt, she's one of those people, extremely predictable. Do you know anyone like that in your life? Like, they're going to be to work at a certain time. They're going to be at church a certain time. Like, they live their life like clockwork. That was my Aunt Wendy, right? So when I heard that something happened to the buildings, I'm like, oh my gosh. The first person I thought about was my grandmother, because my Aunt Wendy said she's the favorite child. So I knew that if anything happened to her, I had to be there for my grandmother, right? So I remember I left the studio. It was before the studio opened. So I left the studio and I was driving down, I forget that highway. It's right before the Parkway in Bloomfield. Good morning, Mommy. And as I'm driving, I can actually see the World Trade Center buildings on fire. I could see the smoke. And my mother just told me 86 floors. Is that the floor she was working on, Mommy? I'm guessing that's what she meant. My Aunt Wendy, her job was on the 86th floor. So as I'm driving, I'm looking at the building and it's like, whoa, I'm not in the building. I'm not going through that trauma. I'm not going through that tragedy, right? But I'm looking and I'm freaking out. Not for me, but for my grandmother. Because I know that if anything happened to her little precious Wendy, who knows what would like happen to her, right? So I'm driving home and I get there and my grandmother didn't know because she didn't listen to the radio. And I'm not even quite sure if I told her. And I picked my kids up from school. I'm giving you the quick version because honestly, I remember bits and pieces. I picked my kids up from school and then we went to my Aunt Wendy's house. And Mommy, I know you're watching this. If you want to come on live, because my mother was a part of this story as well. Renee, just cue her up if she wants to come through at the end. And my entire family, or those that were in New Jersey, went to her house because if you know, everything was shut down. All the transportation was stopped. There was no communication. I'm sure we had cell phones, but again, everything was shut down. And we're in her house. Everyone's in her house. And I'm sure we were praying. I can't remember. I wasn't a praying queen like I am right now. I wasn't a praying warrior. Forgive me, right? And I remember I took her lipstick in her mirror, on her mirror, and I just wrote something on her mirror there. And we were just in the house all day trying to figure out what was going on. And if you're watching this and you were having some type of trauma or tragedy with the 9/11 incident, please write it in the chat. I can send you something to give you some tips and tools. And as we're going through this, if you didn't know, the purpose of this is you can say 11 days of elevation. For 30 days, I have been doing a tip in regards to your health and wellness and reading from my book, No More Traumedy. This book is what kept me alive. The things inside the book, not the book, because I went through the things and then I put it in a book. This book is what will keep you getting better, getting through those pains. And if you click that QR code right there, you can get a copy of this book autographed by me. And I'm also giving you a Traumedy kit. Inside this Traumedy kit is something that can help you push through the pain. Today, I'm reading from chapter 1, and chapter 1 talks about trauma and tragedy. Grief and the journey of feeling better is like the ocean. And let's think about the ocean really quick. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, right? That's what grief is like. You're going to have those great days. You're going to have those not so great days. You're going to have those nights where you're not able to sleep, but trust me, it gets better in the morning. My girl Jessica gave me a song, The Sun Rise. Okay, don't get me trying to sing a song. But it's absolutely amazing when she's like, the sun rise in the morning. Oh my gosh, Jessica, help me out with that song. It's a good song, guys. It's just pretty much it's saying it's going to get better in the morning, right? The nighttime may seem horrible, but my friends, it's going to get better in the morning, okay? There are times when you feel out of control and times when you feel solid like a rock. My rock phase was over and it was time to find a new therapist. I want you to, blah, 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 blah. Let's get it together, T. I want to invite you to take a look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. Let's do that right now. Put up your hand and look at it. Are you okay? No, seriously, are you okay? I think Michael Jackson was onto something in his songs. The words in his Smooth Criminal song, Annie, Are You Okay? And another song, Man in the Mirror, are so on point with the grief journey. The lyrics, I'm starting with the man in the mirror, from the song Man in the Mirror, is a powerful and introspective song that encourages self-reflection and positive change. Throughout the book, you will find various journal prompts. This will be the beginning of your awakening journey. Take your time and be present while you are doing them. Again, we're reading from the book No More Traumedy, and this is a book that you can use to push through your pain. And the rest of that chapter talks about doing an exercise, and I want us to do it right now. Renee, let me know if you're able to get my mom on. I don't see a 3 up there, so that's probably a no. So the exercise that I want us to do, Alexa, play Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror, is to
listen to the king.
Okay, Alexa, stop. I practiced this, guys. It did work earlier. Alexa, play Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror on Spotify. I had to say on Spotify. She's not she's learning a little. So, not yet. So as we're here listening to Michael Jackson,
for once in my life,
are you ready to make a change in your finances, in your relationships,
gonna make a difference,
in your fitness?
gonna make it right.
Inhale,
As I turn up the collar,
exhale.
my favorite winter coat.
Today's tip
Wind is blowing
is all about breath work.
I see the kids
Breath
in the
work
street,
is that thing that's going to make you feel so much better when you're sad, when you're mad, when you're angry. Okay, I don't think this is the song I wanted. But that's okay. Any Michael Jackson song actually is. It is. Here we go. Are you ready, guys? Sing with me. Put up your mirrors. Sing with me.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
One more time. Come on.
I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer.
One more time. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. Alexa, stop. Simple. That's it, right? Do you really want to make a change in your life, in the world? You have to look in the mirror, right? Make a change. Today's tip is breath work. Use breath work to make the change in your life. So when you get mad, when you get angry, when you get anxious, you can overcome it. All right. Today's breath work exercise is going to be really simple. It's going to be lion's breath, dedicated and motivated from inspiration of my son, right? We're going to inhale through our nose. And when you inhale, my friends, I want you to inhale joy, peace, happiness, all the wonderful things. And then we're going to exhale. But when you exhale, you're going to open your mouth as wide as you can and stick out your tongue like a lion. You know, like when a lion roars, it gets like all crazy looking, right? That's how we're going to exhale. So come to the edge of your seat. If you're driving, just roll your shoulders back. If you're in the gym, just move. We're going to inhale through our nose, exhale out the mouth. One more time. Inhale, exhale. Again. Last time. No matter what you're feeling, it always makes you feel better. So we have a special guest today, an unexpected guest today. It's my mother. Bring her on through today. If you're just tapping in, we are remembering 9/11, which was a major trauma. I hope you're not driving, Mommy.
I pulled over. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Yes, scared the life out of me. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, we're talking about 9/11, and I was sharing how I was feeling trauma and tragedy and pain and hurt and every horrible feeling you can think of because of my grandmother, whose daughter, now my mother's her daughter too. She's her favorite daughter too. Whose daughter was inside the Twin Towers. And I was scared and hurt for my grandmother. So, Mommy, you were actually in New York. So I would love to hear from you what you felt, your version of it, because I always say there's 3 sides to a story, right? There's my side, the other person's side, and then what actually happened. So go ahead, Mommy.
Right. I actually had just moved to New York about 4 months before 9/11. And I lived in Upper Manhattan. And we all know World Trade Center is in Lower Manhattan. And believe it or not, you had said something before about cell phones. My cell phone was working, but my house phone wasn't. So Wendy was able to call me because
We're stepping in, we were saying my aunt was working on the 86th floor. Go ahead, mommy.
yes, Wendy, and she worked for World Trade Center. She was secretary to some big somebody. But anyhow, she knew the protocol. Any emergency, they had to leave the building. And I was amazed when I found out something. She said, when you left that building, you walked down the steps, but you only went down one floor, and that you had to walk completely across the entire building to get to another step to go down. Then you had to walk all the way back. And it still bothers her to this day. She said the hundreds of firemen that passed them coming up.
So I'm
And
pause you right there, mommy, because I didn't know they had to go down, crossover, go down, crossover. She never told me that story. I'm going to have to yell at her for not telling me that. Because
if you talk to each time, she'll tell you something else because it's so devastating for her. But I thank God that I had just moved to New York because what had happened, she said she felt the building shake. So she called home and asked Butch. He was asleep. He woke up, put the TV on, just saw the caption, plane hits tower. No, something hit the tower. So he said, oh, something hit the tower. So he just thought it was just the tower, and he went back to sleep. So as she was coming out of the building, she said the lobby was full of people. That's where a lot of people were killed, in the lobby, because they did not leave the lobby. She left out of the lobby, and she said all of a sudden she heard a crunching sound, crunch, 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 crunch. It was each floor coming down individual. And she said she looked back, and all she saw, she said it looked like smoke, but it wasn't smoke because it was dust. And she started running. Everybody was running. You couldn't see nothing. She said she managed to grab onto a fence, and she followed that, and it took her into a hospital. And they came running to her, but they thought she was injured, but she was like completely white. And she managed to buy an outfit and then change at the hospital. And she called me, and I told her what train to take. And it felt like it was hours before she got there. But when she got to me, I never was so happy to see her in my life. I wasn't able to really get in touch with everybody in New Jersey, that easy. But I was glad that my cell phone was working. The house phone didn't. And we kept her until Butch was able to come, because he said, nobody's keeping my baby. And that man went by way of all the way up New Jersey, turned around upstate New York, and came back down and came in and got his baby, because he said nobody was stopping him from coming to New York.
is that because
But I say this to
wait,
say,
is that,
I thank
mommy,
God.
you're not listening. Was it because the tunnels were closed? Is that why he had to drive so far?
They shut everything down. I actually knew a lot of the bus drivers, and one of them, Mr. Cherry, he told me they ordered all the buses to go to the tunnel and block the tunnel. So all the buses were blocking the tunnels on both sides, so nobody couldn't get in the tunnels. Cars couldn't get in. You could not leave.
Wow.
You were just trapped.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that,
And
mommy. That's why it's important.
But for those that, I just want to say one more thing. But to this day, believe it or not, there's still people dying from that because of Wendy's job. Every time someone dies, she gets the notice to pass on. And it's been many, many years. So we just have to keep praying for those that went through this. And it was not her first time, because she had went through the bridge one too. So
Thank you for
but I thank God she's okay.
Yes, mommy, thank you for sharing, because I always say, if we don't communicate with our loved ones, we never know. Like, I didn't know about going across the building like that. I didn't know that the tunnels were actually blocked off with the buses. And I'm not saying they're things you need to know, but it's just, nice to know different things. And I'm definitely going to make sure I give my auntie a call today, because I don't think she goes to work. And I'm going to tell her to get into the book, because she's actually in the book. If you go to let me tell you what page she's in. I have a picture of my family in here. And if you're just tuning in, we're talking about the book, No More Traumedy. You can purchase it There's tools, skills, and strategies in here to teach you how to get through a trauma or tragedy. And okay, I can't find the picture. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Page 467. If you look at me right there, that's her there. That's my Auntie Wendy. But yeah, breath work is the thing that we do. Mommy, again, thank you for coming through. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you later.
You too. I'm on my way.
Okay, Crow. So as we get out of here today, can you remember what I said the tip was for today? Each day we come through, I'm giving you some type of health and wellness tip to get you through that trauma. And today's tip is breath work. We did lion's breath. Yes, yes. All righty. As I leave you today, we may not be able to help that other person actually get through their trauma, but we can teach them things that we know. So if you know someone who's going through or will go through some type of trauma, I want you to teach them breath work. Yes, because breath work, our body fuels. Our blood needs that. Yes. So make sure you do that. And if you didn't know, this Saturday, I'm doing a workshop in Tampa, Florida. It's absolutely free. It's in person. It's virtual. And we're doing vision boards at the end, vision board resets. It's a workshop about consistency in your health and wellness. And breath work, my friends, is part of your health and wellness journey. So make sure you tap into that. And I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 7-Eleven. Peace and a bottle of hair grease. Bye. See ya, see ya, see ya, see ya, see ya. Bye.